Hello, and welcome to an ExQueerience Points review of the Paizo Inc. product, Condition Cards. Boom! I'm your host, Kelrick, and you can find me on Twitter at Cormelon. And if you want to keep up with all things ExQueerience Points, you can follow us on Twitter at ExQueerience. Diving right in, I'm just going to say it, these cards are awesome. Starfinder is a great game, I love to play it, and the cards are just so nice when you're playing in person. The cards are great quality. They have an adorable goblin character on them, and I'll show you a couple as we go through. They're so great. I love the style. The Starfinder logo orange outlines every card, and the dark blue background and light blue text really brings a smart connection from the cards to the rule set. I'm really into it. That's super cool. Whoever the designer was did a fantastic job. These cards are super helpful when playing with new people or people who haven't played very often. It really stops on the time going through the book and slowing down gameplay. Gameplay. I love when you're playing with people and you can just make things as smooth as possible so they can dive into the characters and just roleplay the heck out of them. So these cards break down the condition for what your status is, any negatives to your scores or abilities, and other relevant information. Another important thing to note is the cards are two-sided. So make sure your players have the correct side up so they don't get confused, because if I say that you are bleeding and you have that you are burning up, that's going to be a huge difference for you. So make sure that that's done, especially with new players. These things are fantastic for new players because if you're playing in a Starfinder Society gameplay, these are great as a DM to be able to say, here's what you've got, because you never know if the person coming in is going to be new or not. So, absolutely fantastic. In Starfinder, you'll find conditions play a huge role in character abilities. As a player, you'll find you are so much less effective. And as a DM, you'll find that Starfinder can be a little difficult to balance fight encounters at higher levels, and conditions are the perfect way to intervene for dealing with that struggle. The characters still have a shot at avoiding the negatives or the ability to remove them, but you have the ability to make fights much more hazardous and really add more tension to the roleplay, where your character's like, I really want to do this thing, but I have a condition. Quick rulebook note, sometimes a condition is suppressed without being negated, such as the envoy's don't quit improvisation. In this case, the duration of the condition is unchanged. It still ends at the same time it would have ended if it had not been suppressed. So what that means is this condition will last for the duration it is set for, and your character may have it suppressed with an ability, but if there is a way for your NPCs or while they're in combat to have that suppression shut off, then the effect immediately starts happening for the remainder of the time it would have been in effect. So it's still in existence, it's just something that the character is able to fight through until you find a way to make it to where they can't fight through. Which, for those of us who like delving into the rules, makes for a really fun way of saying, oh, you had that thing and I just took it away, ooh. And for our DM Miyu, that is their greatest joy in the entire world. So, anyway, awesome. My top 3 cards are Asleep, because look at that little goblin. So tired, all the Z's, so peaceful. And to illustrate the card breakdown, you have 1, you are sleeping and helpless. Very good to note, especially for roleplay. 2, the negatives to your stats, skills, and abilities, so you take a -10 penalty to perception checks to notice anything. If you succeeded a perception checks to notice something, despite the penalty, you automatically wake up. So you also wake up if you were slapped or wounded. So it tells you when the effect ends, which is great. And then 3, the condition can be removed by an ally waking you up by using their standard action. So if an ally wants you in the fight badly enough, they can say, you know what, I'm going to not take my action this time, and I'm going to spend it to wake you up and then maybe move or do something, I don't know. So the opposite side of Asleep, Unconscious, which, again, look at that picture. All the little stars and rockets, super cute. The single little big pointy toe. Anyway, it's super cute. Nauseated/sickened are the next ones. Sickened gives... Look at that. That is a feeling we have all had, I think, at one point. So, Sicken gives a -2 penalty to ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, skills checked, and damage rolls. This is a DM's dream condition. You do not get any ideas. The other side of this card, Nauseated, only lets you take a single action. Vomiting in the bowl is just gross, but funny. Only lets you take a single action per turn, and if you look at those two conditions, like that could severely limit a party. Like if you have 4 people and 2 of them are sickened, or 1 is sickened and 1 is nauseated, that is half the party just out until you have someone who can do it. And if you've taken the Mystic out so the Mystic can't do anything, this is a party that is in serious trouble for this interaction, no matter what their level. I mean, you can be a level 20 character, and if you are sickened and you can't do anything, and you have a -2 to all of your rolls, that's a big deal. Anyway, finally, we get to the Bleeding Burning. I showed it earlier. Burning is absolutely my favorite of these cards. I love the look of horror and the fire. It's absolutely fantastic. And then the card itself. I'm only going to talk about the burning side because it's awesome. And the nice thing about this is the damage is able to stack if they get the condition multiple times, and they take the damage at the start of their turn before they can try to put the fire out. The DC for this is super cool. All right, pun intended. Reflex save it's a DC 10 plus fire damage taken during the round. You shoot them, you do your fire damage, say it's 1d6. Your party member's like, wait, they're on fire and I have a fire weapon, so they do fire damage. So that's another d6. So you have a Solarian who goes out and they're like, I'm gonna do my Nova Burst, and they do more fire damage. So say they do 12 points. That's 24 points of damage that they have to do the reflex save. So they have to roll a 34 or better on their reflex save the next turn to be able to put the fire out. That's probably not likely. So their other choices to douse themselves in water or spend a full round action, which is movement plus attack, to roll on the ground to put the fire out. That is gross. That is taking a player out or forcing them to choose to take extreme damage each turn until they have an opportunity to do one of these other things. Or if someone has like a fire extinguisher and uses that on them. I mean, in roleplay, you can find really creative ways to deal with the fire damage, but holy smokes, that is incredible. And so if you're playing with someone, you have all of this written down to explain to them so that it's all written down as you're doing your gameplay. Very, very cool. These cards are really cute, but honestly, they're so useful when playing in Starfinder Society games, or when you're introducing someone new to the game, someone who's just trying the game out to see if they like it. This makes it so much easier. I cannot recommend them highly enough. And at a cost of under $13, they're not a huge investment to be able to make to play games smoothly and encourage more role-playing. More role-playing. Having this card with the Burning Goblin and you're like, I'm on fire, you can really get into, the panic of that and really play it up. So, absolutely love that. And if you're interested in this deck of cards, keep listening to ExQueerience Points, because during the month of May in 2019, we will be ending our Season 1 and gearing up for Season 2. We'll be doing our final episodes and then maybe an AMA on Twitch or something, and we will have different ways for you to get these cards, to win them from us. We'll be doing all kinds of giveaways on absolutely everything that we are reviewing for Paizo. So, A, keep watching to find out what we're reviewing, and B, keep watching and paying attention so that you can find out what it is how you can win what we're giving away. You can also keep up with what's going on our Patreon account, which is www.patreon.com/ExQueeriencePoints, and we will have all of the information on the giveaways up there for you to be able to win.